music is killing me, by the way.
I knew you too. Y'all really get going in.
That's a good little intro, though.
Tanya.
Hey.
Tanya.
Oh,
you want children to listen.
Oh, sorry.
You ain't sorry.
I didn't flash anything bad. I just, was doing me.
All right, fam. This is a special edition. We're talking a little bit about Black History Month, some other reality TV, some docuseries. So this is our special edition.
Yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So because it's Black History Month, I kind of wanted us to talk a little bit about
Black history
that is important to us, history that is important to us, and what being Black actually means to us. Because I know as much as the horror that we see, the terrorism that we see, I think about that sometimes and I say, damn, that I still would not choose to be in any other group than with my African Americans.
Amen.
And one of the things I wanted to point out that whenever I think about being Black is the poetry of Black men. And I have some complaints, but when I think of the poetry of Black men, I think of my uncles at our barbecues in the summertime and listening to them talk and drinking that, that strawberry farm in those curse words. But it was like poetry. And when you see older Black men as they get older, not only in the walk and in how they move, but it's how they talk. And you see the whole world try to emulate that. And I wish that Black men could understand that strength that they have and what makes them the envy really of a whole world. Even the ones that say they hate you and want to destroy you, you are literally the blueprint of what they want or what they want to be. So go. You guys go.
So I'm going to take it personal for me because, I know, I get that and I respect that, but I have to give a shout out to my Nana, God rest her soul. And she was a pioneer. Like she was I don't know if I want to say this, but I'm going to say it. She was the original baby mama. And she had her own business. Like she was married. Her husband left her. She left her with 4 children at the ripe old age of 20.
Jeez.
And she started her own business in Boston, i.e. Chicken Lane. Chris, you don't know, but Shahida, I think you know. We had this with Dart Adams. Chicken Lane off of Tremont Street and Washington Street or Mass Ave. And my grandmother had an after hours restaurant where it was like all she served was tea. She didn't have no liquor license. It was tea, coffee, water, juice, soda, and fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and rice and beans, which we call jag in the Cape Verdean world. My Cape Verdean people, I'm put that out there. And she was so good at that. They only opened up at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning because where the Chicken Lane was set up, it was in a block radius of a couple of nightclubs that was only catering to Black artists, such as Nat King Cole. I'm trying to think, James Brown. and a bunch of other like older school Black artists. I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head, but Nat King Cole was the number one. And there's a restaurant in Boston that's still here till this day, called Daryl's Corner Kitchen. But back in the day, it was called Bob the Chef's. And my grandmother gave Bob the Chef her recipe for macaroni and cheese. And he built an empire on her macaroni and cheese recipe.
That's
and
incredible.
now it's called Daryl's Corner Kitchen and Bar, because I think that I don't know who Daryl is, but I don't think Daryl is Bob the Chef's son. I think Daryl is Bob the Chef's nephew, cousin, or whoever. But I went there and I was like, yeah, that's not my Nana's macaroni and cheese.
I was gonna ask, was it the same macaroni and cheese?
No, I went there when my grandmother told me the story when she was still living and it was still Bob the Chef's. I went there because we were still in high school and in college age.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when my grandmother told me, I went there and it was still Bob the Chef's, and I had the mac and cheese, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's my grandmother's macaroni and cheese. But then when Bob the Chef died and his son or nephew, whoever it is that took over, Daryl Settles or whatever his name is, and it's now the same macaroni and cheese. And I went there again and I was like, no, that's not my grandmama's macaroni and cheese. But that's a Black history fact, because my grandmother in Boston, that was the go-to soul food place in the city of Boston. And my grandmother made that macaroni and cheese and gave her recipe to him. And
Why did she give him the recipe?
Salty, because I was like, bitch,
Why
did
did
you get your money?
Why did she give him the recipe?
She gave him the recipe because she was at the chicken lane. So the chicken lane was here. And then Daryl's, the Bob the Chef's was over here. It was within walking distance. And he asked my grandmother for the recipe and she gave it to him. It wasn't about a whole business deal or how much money you can make at the time. It was.
Was she sweet on old Bob? Was she sweet on old Bob?
No, she was no.
Do we even know what he looks like?
Exactly.
No.
Because I always pictured him like Bob, like a black. What's the guy on the potato chip bag with the big?
Oh my God! Remember the potato chip bag guy with the hat, the chef hat?
That's how I always pictured Bob.
No, that's not him. That's not him.
Okay.
But no, my grandmother was that woman. She was like, you like my macaroni and cheese? And I'm at the chicken lane frying chicken and making macaroni and cheese and Jag. You know Jag, Shahida. It's rice and peas, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, coffee and tea. And he just wanted it. And she gave him the recipe. And when it was Bob the Chef's, when I went there, the first time I was like, okay, this is good. That's my Nana's macaroni and cheese. But when it was when he died and it went over to Daryl's, and it's still there, Daryl's Kitchen, Corner Kitchen. And no, it's not my grandmother's macaroni and cheese. But I got on my grandmother's ass before she died. And I was like, why didn't you have his ass pay your ass?
I didn't know it was an after-hour spot because we had an after-hour spot at my grandmother's too, but she had alcohol. And was
my grandmother didn't drink. Yeah, so my grandmother wasn't a drinker. She didn't drink.
Okay.
So she was like, she had her spot and she's like, I'm not doing the liquor. I'm doing tea.
She had a legal
soda. Yeah, my grandmother was not into serving alcohol. So that's my Black history fact. So my grandmother is a staple in Chicken Lane in Boston, Massachusetts, in the South End, and Bob the Chef's macaroni. If anybody here after watching this podcast has had Bob the Chef's macaroni and cheese, that's my Nana's macaroni and cheese. And my Nana showed me the recipe, so I have the recipe and I make that shit all the time, and that shit is bomb.
I gotta try it. All right, Chris.
I'm looking for you.
Well, I guess my shout out to African American heritage would be my sister being the first Black Miss America, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
As well as my parents being the first Black family to move into our town, by the way, which was the most expensive house in the town at the time.
Your house? Your parents' house? Okay.
It was like $25,000, whatever, brand new construction. And they said that they couldn't, neighbors were told the owners that we couldn't afford it and try to not sell to us.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, they have the money. So, and my neighbors are really cool. The Sarleses. Shout out to the Sarleses. Anyway. And then also, we don't talk about the great Black inventors.
No, we don't.
You don't talk about that the gas mask was invented by a Black man, the safety pin, the filament, Lewis Latimer, the filament in the light, which a lot of attributes to Edison.
Yep.
Of course, Madam C.J. Walker with that fucking hot comb.
Amen.
But she actually didn't invent the hot comb.
Not hot comb, but made a business.
She made a business, yeah.
Right. And Garrett Morgan, who did the traffic light.
Amen.
The ironing board.
Mm-hmm.
All the things we had to work with. You would think we were the ones who invented them to make it easier on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So many great Black inventors. George Washington Carver did wonderful things with the peanut. Did all kinds of stuff. So yeah, there's some great Black inventors that need to be.
Can I say something about Madam C.J. Walker?
Yes.
Did you watch the movie? Did you watch the Octavia Spencer thing?
The thing on Netflix?
No, Octavia Spencer did the whole thing on.
Yeah, but it was loosely based on her story. It wasn't the actual story. So they kind of grew in kind of comedic elements to it, really dramatized elements to it. So it kind of took away from her real story. But it was still a good start. I'm not downing her on that. But one of the things that I really did love about Madam C.J. Walker, she probably had the original, and I won't say her specifically because there was Annie Turbone Malone too, who Octavia Spencer. Madam C.J. Walker went to her school to learn how to sell these products and to, create this business. So she actually learned it from her in St. Louis, and then she kind of elevated it. But they were basically the first Avon women because they made their business so that other women could be successful, taking them out of the kitchen and, building success that way. And I think that's one of the things that she really doesn't get credit for, her or Annie Minerva, because they both created colleges for Black women. They gave them that entrepreneurial period to let them know that they could come out of the kitchen and work for themselves. And we should definitely acknowledge those aspects of both of those women. Yes, and I know when I had my store, that was kind of how I wanted to represent, which I did help others, other Black businesses when I did, because that was my goal, to be more like her and help other businesses to be, successful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So anything more about Black history? I mean, this is not just our only discussion. We're going to do it a couple more times before the month is out. Of
course.
Also, shout out to Willie O'Ree. Do you know who Willie O'Ree is?
No, sir.
Willie O'Ree is the first professional Black hockey player.
Oh, and the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins. We should know better.
Yes, I'm like,
he just recently got his number retired.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In the Boston Garden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say the Boston Garden because I'm old and I know it's TD Bank, but it's the Boston Garden.
I still call it I think everybody still call it the Garden.
I think all the old school heads call it Boston Garden. So I'm down with Willie O'Ree. Yeah.
So moving to the reality part of our gossipy session right now.
Yeah, and wait a second. On the heels of that, the fact that the NFL is 70% African American
athletes,
and there is one head coach that's black.
Two now. Let me correct you. There's now two because you got what's his name? Mike, whatever his name.
Tomlin, yeah.
Mike Tomlin. And the Miami Dolphins just assigned or put a new black head coach. He's biracial though, but he's still black.
What's his name?
I don't know. We're gonna Google it. I don't know his name, but I saw it yesterday on Google that they assigned a new head coach for the Miami Dolphins, and they made it very clear on the internet that he's biracial. I'm like, really? Seriously?
Oh, Brian Flores?
No, Brian Flores is the one that's suing everybody.
Okay, so I'm looking for that news.
Look it up. Google it. Who's the new coach of the fucking who?
Mike McDaniels?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels.
That's him.
That's biracial?
That's him. He's the new coach of the that's him. And they made it very clear that he was biracial. And I'm like, why do we have to do that? Why does it have to come to that? That's just me. They just want to make sure that they hired a half black man to coach a team.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter. That's still just two in the history of the NFL, even if he is biracial and the team being 70, I mean, the whole league being 70% black. And then I think,
his father's black.
Of course his father's black.
Let's not ruin it. Hey, how you doing, Mike? Not my Mike Tomlin. You know I curse on him.
You know I love me some Mike Tomlin, yo. Mike Tomlin can get it all day, every day. But I'm taking it to a whole nother level, so we're gonna digress. So
yeah.
What
are you gonna say, Chris?
No, but I was gonna say, with all of the in the Super Bowl last year, three of the coordinators out of the four were black. None of them. The number one defense this year was the Buffalo Bills. Leslie Frazier was the defensive coach, defensive coordinator with the number one defense. Did not get a job. Eric Bieniemy, who's been the offensive coordinator for Kansas City for the past 3 years, has not gotten a job. And that's why Brian Flores, who just got fired from the Miami coach after winning his last 8 games, is bringing a suit against the NFL for some bullshit.
Yeah. And everybody is coming with the receipts, because I've seen in the past week that people are like, I got you, Brian Flores. I got all the receipts. Attorneys, agents, Jamel Hill is like, I got your back. So we'll see what happens.
But that's one of those things. What now? He's suing for discrimination?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to see him win.
There's a thing called the Rooney Rule.
Right.
Which is basically you have to have 2 interviews with 2 black things. But did you hear what happened with Brian Flores? He got a text from Bill Belichick that said, hey, congratulations, I hear New York is going. And he goes, Brian Flores said, oh, I'm not meeting till Thursday. He's like, oh, my bad. Wrong Brian.
Basically.
And they had already announced, he said, I heard you got the job. And he's like, I haven't even interviewed yet. So Bill Belichick was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he let the cat out of the fucking bag. Just to go to show you it's all a fucking sham. It's all bullshit. And Brian Flores ain't gonna get hired ever again as a head coach.
No,
he won't ever.
He's
not.
He's
blackballed like Kaepernick.
His career, his NFL career is over.
Pretty much.
It's over.
Yeah, well, I haven't, like, after the Kaepernick thing, I didn't watch football until this year. And now I'm just like pissed off all over again. It's just like it's such a, I don't want to say slave.
I don't watch NFL at all. I don't have no interest in it. I don't give a shit about the NFL. I was like, this year with the whole halftime Super Bowl show, I was like, oh, I don't give a fuck about your football game, but I'm going to watch that goddamn halftime show with Dr. Trey, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg. Oh, I'm all in. But other than that, I ain't watching that shit.
Okay, so can I segue now?
That's like
Janet Jackson documentary. Did you guys see it?
I did not.
You did not?
I haven't had a chance to. I'm trying to catch up on the Olympics.
I watched it.
You know how much Olympics coverage is going on right now? I'm trying to find out.
I ain't watching the Olympics. I'm good with the Olympics. Fuck that.
I did not know until I saw a tweet from Leslie Jones saying that she wasn't going to do it anymore. Like,
because NBC shut her down. NBC shut her ass down. And shame on NBC for that shit. I don't want to watch that shit
anymore. And I was really pissed off. I didn't even know that it had started. I remember the hoopla before it, but really I don't watch network TV that much.
That said she's allowed to keep commenting. She can keep commenting, NBC says.
Of course.
Yeah, but after you tried to shut her down, and her whole thing is like, I'm not going to stay where you don't want me.
Right. Why would you do that? That don't make no sense.
And actually, she should actually have something like when they gave Snoop and Kevin Hart that
show on Peacock.
Right. They should have given her, because hello, she's SNL.
NBC was blocking her the videos.
Yeah. I mean, that's damn. I mean, I really wanted to celebrate Black History. Now we're just talking about the shit that people do to Black people.
Right? And that's Black history. Because here's what happens. That's Black history. They always trying to undercut us. It is what it is.
Okay. All right. So I will only say this about the Janet Jackson thing. I really enjoyed it, since Chris didn't see it. I did enjoy it. I just didn't feel that it went deep enough with the questions. I loved how she skirted. I'm sorry.
Skirted.
That's
how you said squirted. I was like, I got a little moist right now. You said squirted. I was like, ow. Ow. Sorry, Chris.
She really skirted some important questions. Like, did you have a baby with that DeBarge boy?
But you know what? Here's the thing. Janet doesn't have... Listen. Janet put her business out there.
She really didn't. She had some good moments. I love like the person. I love seeing her love for her brothers, her family. Loved it. But like her,
I love the fact that I love my favorite point. And I think we had this conversation offline. The three of us, that we respect her for the fact that she showed love for her dad. I love all of that. That she
I love the
gave her father his props, because everybody was downtrodden friggin' Joe. And she was like, nope, if not for Joe, we would not be where we're at. And I respect all that. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. I don't.
I wanted to know, was that whole Super Bowl thing? I want to know if that was planned.
You can't.
Well, when you look at it, it wasn't really planned. It was.
But then I heard she was crying afterwards. She didn't answer the question about, I felt like it. Anyway, Janet
she's going down with the ship. She's going down with the ship.
Basically.
She's like, I'm gonna stay in that live for as long as and I'm at her deathbed. She's like, I meant to show my titty.
Right. Because
that's the last thing she ever gonna say.
She put the video out there. She put the video out there before this documentary came out. She put it out, and it just happened. It just happened to show up on Twitter and TikTok, where she's like, "I don't want anybody to blame Justin."
What do you want to say?
And I was like, "Really, bitch?"
I meant to show my titty, and that's my daughter.
That's right. Show the titty. Just show it. It's a fucking titty,
and that's my daughter. That's the second one.
I don't like the way she took the hit, though.
Yeah, well, she took the hit, but I don't like the way that she covered up for Justin. She was like, "With me and Justin are friends, and I'm over this, and let's just let this shit go." No, I would have never let that shit go. I would have been like, "Look, it's a double standard here. We both of us was on the stage, and my titty fell out, and now I'm gonna need him to take, he's gonna have to take initiative on this one." But it is what it is.
It is. I mean, it was a good documentary. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, Chris, but it was good. Those are the only two questions. I just felt this
really good. And the only other thing I'm gonna say about this with the Janet Jackson documentary is I'm gonna end it on a high note. I swear to Black Jesus, baby Black Jesus, that Janet Jackson, I already knew it. But I did not know that Janet Jackson had all them hits. Because when I was watching that shit, I was watching all that shit. And when it was over, I literally pulled that shit up on YouTube and I was like, friends come, friends may go.
I knew.
I was dancing and shucking and jiving. No, I love me some DJ.
I remember my freshman year at Cheney University in Pennsylvania, hoop earrings in the key.
Go ahead, girl.
Looking a hot mess. The 80s was nothing nice.
Nothing nice. And we graduated 86. So we had like several years in the 80s, 86 to 89, 90 to figure it out.
And I was like really surprised too when, I don't know why I always thought that her being on the Good Times was, I of course her father would kind of maneuver it, but I was really shocked that he really wanted her to be on that show.
But did he really wanted her to be on that?
She said.
Or was that just a calculated measure?
Well, he got her on the show.
But listen, I ain't mad at it because that shit was bomb.
I cry every time I see that.
That shit was great.
With shit coming at her with that damn iron. I still get teary-eyed.
Right. Listen, don't even talk to me about that. That's some fucked up shit. Where she was like, I love you, JJ. I mean, I love all that shit. And then her mother was like, oh no, bitch. I'm about to burn your ass on your shoulder.
I told you not to leave the house.
Right. I told you.
And remember who played the mother?
That was
Penny. It was what's her name? Kim Fields' mother.
Yeah, Chip Fields.
Chip Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good genetics right there.
Any other documentaries out? That was it. That was
the Tinder Swindler, but someone don't like it. So
how did you not like that? Okay, you know what would you think about it, Chris?
I thought it was not surprising that,
But did you think the women were just that like so stupid?
So dumb.
No, I don't. You want to see why I don't think that they were that stupid?
Not my place to comment. I'll let that go.
No, you watched a good portion of it. The only reason I'm giving them some credit is he was smart about his con.
Of
right?
course.
I'm smarter than I've seen, like when you hear about a guy saying, "Oh, I'm with the FBI and I'm undercover, and I need you to give me like $20,000 until I can hook up with my, my FBI agents again." No. No proof. He gave them. I mean, he bought them tickets, put them in the best hotels, took them to the best dinners, was in the best cars, had bodyguards. If I'm around somebody like that, I'm gonna believe that they're rich. But when
he showed that he was rich.
He showed you, right? The only thing that would make me question it is when you ask me for money.
Thank you.
I would be like, but I'm just saying, I can see somebody saying, okay, well, let me give him $5,000. Let me give him $10,000. And he's like, I'm going to get back to you. But me in my head, I'm saying, no, you come from a billionaire family. You just showed me pictures of your billionaire family on Google.
I don't give a fuck if you are a fucking 100,000-aire family that you come from. Here's the thing. You are not going to come to me and be like, hey, boo, like, yeah, I need a couple of thousand on your Amex. I'm be like, nah, I ain't got you. I'm good. No. But these bitches got caught up. Listen to me. These bitches got caught up.
If someone shows you, if someone flies you, if your boo flies you private.
I have a boo like that.
Over a month or two.
No.
Go ahead, Chris.
It's not going to happen.
Flies you private places.
No, not going to happen.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I don't play that. I am not that bitch. You are not going to fly me anywhere. Because here's my brain. My brain is like, listen to me. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Nobody can fly me anywhere and say, I'm going to bring you here or bring you there, and this is what's going to happen. Because in my brain, I'm like, I'm going to owe this motherfucker. Therefore, if I want to go see his ass in Amsterdam or Barcelona or LA, wherever the fuck, I'm paying for myself. I don't give a fuck if your daddy is a goddamn diamond miner. No, that's your daddy. That ain't
never let a man treat you?
No.
That's
because I look at it like there's an ulterior motive here.
Yeah, they want to sleep with me.
Exactly. And I'm good with that. I did that one time with an ex-husband. I am not playing that game anymore. No. No, we're not doing this. No. You can be interested in me. And you could be like, I want to take you out and take you on a date. And I'll be like, okay. But here's the deal. I'm showing up with my money. Because you are not going to have me sitting there and you use up all my money and talk about, I'm going to need you to get the credit card out. No, we're done here. We're done.
First of all, it wasn't as simple as just, he flew them out one time. This was a build up of a relationship over, maybe a month's time, maybe, a couple of months' time. It wasn't just
6 months.
Come on. Are you guys that gullible?
How is that being gullible?
How is that being gullible? If someone proves to you, if I say to you, if you look at my house and you go, and I say, oh, I'm doing so-and-so and so-and-so, you're like, oh, well, he has a house. I understand that. But
it doesn't matter.
All about it. Of course it matters. If you're my man, if you're a woman and your man has flown you private, has shown you Rolls Royces, has showed his clothes, he looks like he's rich. He's acting like he's rich. You don't know any brothers that he's rich because he's taking you places.
But are you going to be that stupid that if I can have all of that and you have your own house, We all own our own homes.
Right.
Are we going to be that dumb that we're going to talk to somebody and he or she is going to be like, oh, I got this, I got that,
He's not saying that though.
Wait, let me finish. I'm going to fly you out, Chris. I'm going to fly you out to my home and we're going to do this and do that. And then after the fact, I'm going to go to another country and now I need $25,000 and I'm going to need you to ramp up your American Express card. We can't be that dumb, people. I'm not that. No,
I think you're missing a whole big aspect of this story too. Like when I said it was the emotional thing, and it wasn't like he was like out of the blue, can I just use your Amex card? No, it was.
When did you stop? When did you stop in the middle of the documentary? When did you stop? Did you see what she did afterwards? Do you see how the second one?
I could not watch anymore. I watched about.
What did you get to?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and maybe I'm just shooting myself in the foot and whatever. I'm gonna take this hit. I could only stomach 30 minutes of that bullshit because I was like, I can't with these bitches. These bitches are stupid.
But you didn't watch the whole thing.
And he's just reeling them in. He's just like this. He's out there like fishing, and he's like.
Did you see the part where he showed his bodyguard had got attacked? Did you see that part?
Oh, I saw that. Right. His bodyguard was in the mix with him. He got his money too. So please.
That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't just give me this money for no reason. It was he created a narrative of his family, especially being in the diamond business. Like you said, he created this narrative that his family's in the diamond business and that it can be, very violent at times. Exactly. I would still say, like, where are your parents? You need to get this money from your parents.
I don't give a fuck if totally his head got chopped off.
What?
I'm not giving any money. I don't give a fuck if he sent me a fucking video of that brother's head. He was bloody. He had a bloody head, but I wouldn't give a shit if that motherfucker's head got chopped the fuck off. And he sent me a picture of his fucking head hanging it. I'd been like, not my monkey, not my fucking circus. I don't give a fuck. That's your boy. I got nothing to do with that shit. I'm not giving you any money for nothing.
Okay. She doesn't watch the whole thing. She can't comment and watch the whole thing. That's like if I said, Janet Jackson, she fucking.
No, listen, Chris, I love you. But Chris, Shahida, I love you guys.
You gotta watch the whole thing.
I can't co-sign on that shit. I don't understand how women are so dumb that they're like a man who's attractive. And I ain't gonna sit here and lie. That dude was attractive on the Tinder Swindler, but I'm like, he ain't that cute that I'm gonna be so stupid that I'm gonna be like, okay, boo, I'm gonna fucking open up my line of credit on my Amex cards and take care of you. Nah, I'm good. I don't have that.
It wasn't just open up a line of credit. I think that's the piece that you're missing. There was a serious emotional piece to it, and that was they thought that he was in danger and that somebody was coming to get him at that point. He needed the money
right then and there.
Right then and there, quickly.
Are you guys so stupid right now?
You didn't watch the whole thing.
How are you calling us stupid?
I'm calling you both stupid because I'm like, I don't give a shit. I didn't watch the whole thing, but at the end of the day, I'm not. I take it back. I take it back.
Please,
I'm reeling
that
in.
Like very rude.
Well, I'm saying that. Yes, it's very rude. I take it back because I love you guys to death. But at the end of the day, I'm like, come on, really? Are we at this point? Like, we are a certain age where I'm like, you can't come to me with that bullshit.
That's what we. Half the fucking United States voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah, but you have to understand why they would vote for him.
Yeah, I get it. But at the end of the day,
you have to understand why women This is not the first time it's ever happened, too.
No.
It happens all the time with women. All the time. With men, too.
No. We're going to have to No. Go ahead, Shahida. What?
This is a con game. We've seen it not just happen with women, but smart people. Think about that doctor. I can't think of his name. That pretended to be a doctor for 10 years, a surgeon at that, for 10 years. He fooled not only women, but educated people in his field.
Okay.
That was I'm just saying. People get conned all the time.
I get it. But at the end of the day, this whole dating game, like, why? Why would you? Look, I get it. That if somebody's interested in me, I might be interested in him, and I might fall for the okie doke. But here's what's not going to happen. We can conversate, text, Teams, Instagram message, Facebook message all day, all night. But what you ain't gonna do is ask me for money. But if you are a billionaire, and wait, Chris, let me finish. Let me finish. When the show started,
Tanya, because you've said a lot. Let Chris say something. I just want to hear your point because I'm trying to explain it to her. I haven't gotten to her. You go ahead and you try.
What I'm saying to is you can't look at it. It's just a binary thing. No, I'm not going to do this. You don't know until you're in a situation like that what you're going to do. And if you have been in love with this man who's taking you on, I'm just letting you know that they're not stupid. They got conned. There's a difference between being straight up stupid and getting played and getting conned. And if you don't think that you could get conned, you better be careful because once you think you can never be conned, that's when a motherfucker cons you. Okay. So what I'm saying is understanding what, yes, they may have been stupid, but they did it for a reason out of love. And he had proven he had money that he would pay. If he was broke and lived in his mom's house and didn't do anything, he'd be like, I'm not giving that motherfucker anything. He's traveling in Rolls Royces, flying you private, putting you up, playing this, that, and the other. He's like, oh, okay. Even one of his good friends, you didn't even get to her, did you?
That's what I was getting ready to say. It wasn't just women that he was sleeping with.
The second one.
It was people that he hung out with. She was with them for a month at, partying with him for a month. And, he called her and he was just like, I hate to do this. And maybe this is what super rich people do every once in a while. Can you just spot me, $10,000 until
Come on. Seriously? Are you guys that dumb?
You gotta watch.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you and Shahida. But I'm talking about rich people. Rich people are stupid as fuck if they fall for that okie doke. Fuck that shit. I'm all about my money. And at the end of the day, what you ain't gonna do is friggin' swindle me and some bullshit. Nah, I'm sorry. I love you guys, but I got to respectfully disagree. And that's why I could not watch the rest of that shit. That shit was foolish. That was a foolish.
Watch the whole thing. You can't take it based on one little thing. You got to watch the whole comprehensive thing.
No, I don't want to watch the whole comprehensive thing. That whole comprehensive. Right.
Anyway, let's move on to something else. What else do we talk about?
Oh my God. I really wanted to have a discussion about this because I really enjoyed it.
No, I didn't enjoy it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really. And did you see a recent article, Shahida, that he said he was acting?
Of course,
no, sir, I did not.
Y'all have that.
Yes, there's an article about he's saying because remember he never got caught. He was spent five months in jail.
He only spent 5. But you know what? This is the thing I was feeling after I watched it. The world, and I always say it about the United States, but the world doesn't care about women at all. If he had conned men like that, I think he would have gotten more time than what he did for conning women. Because like how Tanya's saying, that's how those judges pretty much so said, well, basically it's your fault, you know. But if it were men, I think he would have gotten way more time.
Probably. You're probably right.
And then, Tinder just kicked them off.
Oh, finally.
Just kicked him off.
Wow.
Because of the documentary.
But he did 3 women. He said he stole up to $10 million from folks. So he's obviously good at the fucking con. If
I don't give a fuck how
$10
good
million from people.
Listen to me. I know we're recording.
Don't go to jail for 5 months.
But nah, I don't give a fuck how good your dick is. You are not accessing my fucking American Express card.
She's only taking this much. She's only taking this much.
But the thing
I'm just saying, it is what it is.
Even more is the model girlfriend he's with now. You know, you've seen it all on the internet before the video came out.
What about the wife? What about the one with the kid?
Well, she got in on the con because she was getting money. She got conned first and was a victim, and then she said, "Ooh,
let me get this
see how we can make some money off of this."
Yeah,
and I like how it was basically like a Ponzi scheme of women. So you take 30,000 from one woman to spend on this woman, and then you take money from, and just goes on from there.
And pay the one back over here like this. Yep, it's crazy.
Because he was paying some of them, giving some of their money, but I don't think that I'm not as strong as Tanya on this. But like I said, the thing that would get me is it may be because we're not rich. Because like remember the other girl, she seemed like she had money too, so she was like, okay, I'll give him, you know, the $10,000 or whatever, and I know he's rich and he'll give it back to me. I don't have $10,000 just to give you. Right. You know, I have a house, I have bills, I have kids. You know, if I have $10,000, it's gonna have to stay with me. So I'm not going to, but I'll do what I can to help you. I'll call your parents. What's their number?
Now, see, that's where I'm done. I got nothing to give. No, you are a whole ass grown ass adult. In my brain, you're your own person. I do me very well. I take care of me. I don't ask nobody for shit. But when it comes down to you, you do you. You can call me. Now, don't get it twisted. You at Tinder Swindler, you can call me and fucking complain till the cows come home, and I'm gonna be on the phone like this, like, oh, sorry, boo. Sorry.
If you're in love with that man,
I got nothing to do with that bullshit.
You're gonna have a different situation. If you are in love with the man,
you are in love with somebody.
No. And the reason why, listen to me.
Hospital. They call you in the hospital.
No,
that they are hurt.
Let me just cancel this shit right now. No. I was married to a man that swindled me. Okay. And here's the lie. Here's my reality. I'm done. Nobody gets nothing from me. Not my mother, not my brother, not a friend, not a cousin, not anybody. I'm good. I might be like, I'll listen to your story. And I'll be like, well, okay, maybe I'll help you out. But if I ain't feeling that shit, I'm moving on. I can't help you.
Okay, maybe I'll help you out. And you're in love with a man, and you have $10,000, and you know that he's got millions of dollars. You go, oh, maybe I'll give him $5,000.
No. There's no bullshit there.
But
if I was in love with you, Chris, if I was in love with you and you had $100 million in the bank, you're on your own, and I'm on my own. You got your money, I got my money. No, we're good.
Okay, so if you're with somebody, okay, what's your level of?
I don't have a level anymore.
Wait, no. You didn't even hear what I was gonna say. What I'm gonna say is, usually if you're with somebody, there's a level of not just trust, but you know that you can depend on that person.
No.
Where's your level of like, I can depend on this person?
Like I said,
nothing.
I have no level here. There's no level here for me. With regards to me, I have no level. I can love you. As a man, I can love you.
But with that becomes, I can depend on you.
No. No. Hell to the motherfucking no. No. We are of a certain age. I'm about to turn 54. And at this age, maybe 20 years ago, we could have this conversation 20 years ago. But today, no. You are on your own, Negro. I got mine, you got yours. And if we're going to be together, and I could love you and you can love me and we can have a relationship, but you're on your own and I'm on my own. What yours is yours and what's mine is mine. I'm doing me. Nah, I'm not bringing nothing to the table. No, you bring your shit to the table. You don't have to bring nothing to the table. Bring your shit and I'll bring my shit and I'm keeping my shit and you keep your shit and we're done here. Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, I get it. But
I'm done. I don't want to be taken advantage. I've been taken advantage of. And I know you have. Sis,
no, I have not.
Sis, I got you, boo. You my sister. We've known each other forever, since high school. I got you. But at the end of the day, nah, I got nothing to give. I got nothing to give anymore. Come on.
My thing is, I'm like, it was hard getting that word out. I don't know. My thing is that I get what you're saying, but I feel like the piece that you're missing is really that emotional attachment. It's like when, and don't interrupt. It's like when those people call those elderly people, or not even elderly people, young people, because my brother got this call too. Your brother just hit my car. And he's not leaving here until I get my fucking money and blah, blah. And you can come over here to drop it off. And that spur of the moment, all you're thinking about is, oh my God, my brother, my grandson was in a car accident and this guy wants money to fix it and I have to go and do it. And I can see how people get caught up like that. But you have to stop yourself some and think about the whole situation first, right? But that's the piece that I think that you're missing, that emotional connection to that person and wanting them to be safe.
No, because here's what I do. I have an open line of communication to my mom, and I'm like, if anybody calls you with any bullshit talking about, I know my mom's 78 years old. She lives by herself. She does her thing. And I'm like, Mom, if anybody calls you with that bullshit, like, oh, I got the whatever the fuck, we'll do whatever to make sure that you're good. I'm like, call me first. Don't give them your credit card information, your banking information, anything, your cash. I always make sure that my mother has cash on her because there's times where she might need some cash outside of credit cards and whatever. And I'm like, unless they know me, don't you give them that.
But then somebody can call her and tell her they do know you.
I'm duly noted on that.
Tanya couldn't get to the phone right now, but I'm calling you now. She's in the hospital. X, Y, and Z.
Nope. I'm duly noted on that, Shahida, and I've already had the conversation with my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I don't care who calls you. Even if they say, I'm friends with your daughter, unless you have spoken to me, you hang up the phone. I am very aware of the scams that are going on out in this world.
And we all are. We all are, right? To a point, because I don't know all the scams, to be honest.
Well, I know all the scams. Girl, I'm a nurse. I've been in this game a long time.
You might say that, but the person calling your mother or she doesn't, at that moment, she's caught up in her emotion. She's caught up in like, oh my God, you can't say that. She's caught up in that moment.
No, not my mom. No, not my mom. Because I've educated my mom on this shit.
Education.
I've been a nurse. Shahida, I've been in this game for over 30 years. I have educated my mother and my grandmother and my entire family on this fucking health.
This type of attitude is going to get you scammed. That's the problem.
What are you
saying?
When
you think that you can't get scammed, that's when you motherfuckers.
I'm not saying that I can't get scammed. I'm just saying that it is what it is. These bitches are out there because they are just all enamored of being in love and having that person in their life.
Okay, let me ask the question.
I'm talking about my mom right now.
Oh, but you jumped it to
no, we were just having a conversation about my mom. So
I know, but then you brought up the other women. You just brought up the women. Okay, so your mom is settled. My thing is,
my mom's good.
Yeah. I mean, God forbid. I don't want that on. I don't want that on my mother and my father. My father just had his laptop compromised.
Okay. All right. So what are we doing here?
He was like, if you told me to get rid of this system, I'm like, yeah, I did. But anyway, my question was, when you talk about these women, they were just caught up in wanting to be in love. How do you stop yourself all the time from being with somebody that treats you kindly? You think they're stepping up for you. They're texting you all day. You're talking all night, and then like 2-3 months you're going out for dinners. I mean, you're doing all the things to build up to a relationship, and then the person says, I want it to be you and me. In a monogamous relationship. Okay, woo. So now you really got, he's really taking it to another step. So do you stop yourself at a point to be like, and I know you always say that you're done with that, but are you really done with that? Like having that connection with someone?
Yes. I shut it down. And Chris, go ahead. I just said yes.
That's
Chris,
sad to me.
your business.
That's just sad. That's sad to me. I feel like you have no hope.
I have no hope.
But that's not good. That's sad.
No,
you should always have hope.
It's what it is because
you should always have hope.
Are trifling, and I am not trying to get got.
I mean, people are trifling, but okay. I know you say your husband conned you, your ex-husband conned you, or whatever. It's one relationship that was just very bad and ended up in that situation. Did other men con you? No. Right. So you're one person. I know one bad apple can ruin a bunch, but you're letting this one person define what you want or have in the future with other men.
Well, not necessarily, because I will give you that. Everybody bears the burden of what I went through, okay, with my ex-husband. But at the end of the day, anything else can come out of this, but I always have the wherewithal of okay, I'm gonna watch this shit and see what happens. Listen, regardless of what happened with me and my husband, it is what it is. You guys know that. I'm not going to open up the floodgates for anybody else to come in and take advantage of me. That is just how it works for me. I shut everybody out until you have proven to me that I am okay and I can trust you. If not, I'm shutting the shit down. And like we're doing right now with the Tinder Swindler. No, we're good.
So basically, you still can, at a point, get to the same place that they were in love with somebody.
No, not gonna happen. I will never be in love with somebody. I've only been in love twice.
Sad.
I've only been in love twice in my life. One was, and Shahida, you know, Eric, when, oh shit, I shouldn't have said his name, but it is what it is. You know, my high school sweetheart, and then my husband. That's it. 2 men I've only been in love with. In my entire life of 50, about to be 54 years. So for now, no, I'm good. I cannot co-sign on this Tinder Swindler shit.
And we're not co-signing. We're just saying that we understand.
I don't understand that though. I just don't understand that. How you can have all this credit and this man or person is like, I got my dad has a $1 billion industry of diamonds, and I gotta fly here with the private jets and all this shit. And can you put your credit? Can you put like $25,000 on the credit card? I'm looking at a mother sideways like, really? Your dad owns all this shit, and why do I have to put all this shit on my card? No, not happening. Not happening.
She's only taking it from a specific part of it at the beginning, which
I think if she watched the whole thing, I think that there were some people that still stuck with that, because I was reading a lot of people calling them gold diggers, that they deserve what they got because all they want. Yeah. I'm like, women get like the shithole for every damn thing. I didn't consider them gold diggers. I mean, if a man who has money happens to fall in love with you, and yeah, you like him and his money, what makes you a gold digger for that?
I'm not saying that it makes you a gold digger, but I'm saying it's like, no. I'm not saying that you're a gold digger or anybody's a gold digger.
Wasn't your point.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, I can fall in love with anybody. And you can have a private jet, you can have $10 million in the bank, and we can Instagram, Facebook, inbox each other all day. I'm cool with that. But what you ain't gonna do is say to me that you got all this money, and then you're like, oh well, I need
you're missing the point of why.
No, we're good.
Why he's asking for the money?
The emergency part aspect.
You're not going to ask me. You cannot be on a level higher than me and ask me for money. We're done here.
Yourself in a personal, as Tanya in Boston, that's not going to happen to. And we're trying to take it to this is what happened to this woman and why it happened to women. You're trying to make it about, oh, that would never be me. But they're two different situations. We're saying we understand how this woman got conned because of the love she was in. You're saying that would never happen to me. I'm not even having it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But you're equating.
It would never happen to me.
I know, but you're taking that stance of how you would act in terms of how these people are, which is a totally different circumstance.
Is it really?
Yeah, if you're involved with a man for 3 months and he's taking you on a private jets, he's taking you all around the world, he's done all this stuff for you, and you know he has money, because in order for him to do this, he's got to have some kind of money. He's got to have some.
I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how much money you have. If you're flying me somewhere and doing this and doing the most, what you ain't gonna do. Here's the difference between me and these bitches. I'm gonna make sure that my money is secure. That in the fact that if your shit goes south, and you will never come to me and say, hey, Tanya, I need $25,000. Nope. I'll be like, we're good here. We're good here.
It wasn't that he lost his money. Listen, it wasn't that he lost his money. He needed money at that point.
I don't
that point, care. Right then and there. And it was like, can you help me out?
I'm situation. I'm fearful for my life.
Yes.
No, I'm not. I don't don't care about that.
So if you ever got a call from somebody that you love,
No,
and they
I
said,
don't care. Because here's the thing. I went through this shit with my mother and my grandmother, God rest her soul, before she died. Those scams were out there with where grandchildren, where people were calling mothers and grandmothers and was like, "Oh, I'm your grandchild. I have your grandchild held hostage in Nicaragua."
Low budget scams. This dude was on another level.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
get it.
High investment.
I get it.
$10 million. If you can steal $10 million, there's a whole lot of motherfuckers who got scammed out of their money. $10 million? Not 100,000. $10 million.
But here's the thing: how stupid are you to get scammed out of $10 million?
People get fucking smart. People get scammed all the fucking time. I got scammed from my foundation. I got scammed for $12,000. I'm an intelligent man. I know what's going on. But you trust certain people. You
those
do this.
Contractors.
Like,
those are different levels.
Huh?
I said those are contractors. They are on a different level of scamming.
But still, it's a con.
Everybody.
It's still a con, though. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
Even if you're aware of it, even if you have references, all that kind of stuff, you can still get conned, even if you can see it coming or this, that, and the other. There's a tipping point when you give someone money or something because you think that they're going to be doing this job. It's kind of the same type of thing.
Okay.
Same type of thing. So it's not some easily, I just want money. He's obviously so good at it. If he can scam must have been dozens of women, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Dozens and dozens of women to $10 million?
Chris, I get it. I get it.
Really
I get it. I get it, but I don't get it because I'm like, what the fuck?
Remember, he conned businesses as well, and and I think in New York he conned a limousine service where they gave him I don't know how he fronted and they gave him this limousine service for X amount of days and then skipped out on the bill basically.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just going to make this very clear.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
You get where I'm coming from, right? Because I don't want to beat a dead horse. But here's the thing. I could love you, and I could think that you're the greatest thing since sliced cheese. And I could get your friggin' motive on what you're trying to do with your business. But at the end of the day, no, nobody can come to me at this stage in my life and say, I have this vision. I don't give a shit if you're a relative or a friend or whatever the fuck. I'll listen to you. But I'm not going to free willy give you my money and invest in you. And these bitches, listen to me. I'm not done. I'm not done. These bitches I'm not done. I love you, Christopher. I love you. I love you. But what I'm not going to do is invest my money and just give my money and my credit of my credit cards to people.
Not people.
Not people.
No, it doesn't matter.
The man you love.
People. The man that I'm supposedly in love with, or the relatives that I'm in love with.
He was in love with him. They were all in love with him.
No.
That's how powerful that
I'm not in love with anybody like that. I'm over that.
My point is when I have a problem with you're saying these women are stupid.
They are stupid.
Yeah, but that's
they are stupid.
They're not stupid. They got conned. Just because you get conned does not mean you're stupid.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Okay, then I'm stupid for hiring the contractor and getting conned out of $12,000. So I'm stupid.
No, that's not the
conversation
we're having.
I trust
that's not the conversation we're having.
Why?
That's not the conversation we're having.
I got conned. People get conned.
That's your call on that. If you want to admit that you got conned, then you admit that.
Just because you get conned,
but you admit that. I never said that you got conned of that bullshit.
I'm saying I got conned.
Okay, so you admit that. I didn't say that.
Conned with being stupid. That's your thing. You said these women, they're stupid because they got conned.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm saying you don't have to necessarily be stupid to get conned. You can be in love. You can have all kinds of different factors on your emotion to get conned and still be smart and still want your money. Oh, go ahead, Shahida.
Go ahead, Shahida.
Speaking of getting conned, remember when the guy was pretending to be a Rockefeller for like
years? Yes. I remember that.
Now think about the woman that he was with, that he married, a brilliant woman.
Thank you.
Very smart. She was like
and stole her child.
This is what I'm saying. So, I mean, and as smart as she was, he didn't have any money. But for the longest time, she was, he would take money from other places and then, and use that. But basically, he had no money. Or anything, and he conned her for 12 years.
And he told her he had all this money, and she believed it. Stupid.
Because she thought.
Stupid. Because he said to her she was a Rockefeller. He said to her he was a Rockefeller, and she hook, line, and sinkered that shit. He reeled her in like a fish, like they always do. And she was stupid too, and he took her child, kidnapped her child. So here we are. So I'm done. Look at here. Chris, I love you. Love you to death. But at the end of the day, these bitches are dumb. These bitches are stupid in the fact that they are like they said in the documentary, the 20 minutes that I could stomach on this shit. They were like, He's flying on private jets. He's getting
that would make me think he was rich.
I give a fuck about you're flying on a private jet. I don't give a shit if you're flying on a private jet and you're eating fucking caviar and you're doing all this bullshit and you got your father. His father was a diamond, whatever the hell. I don't give a shit about that. But what you ain't gonna do, if you got all this money and all this shit, you ain't gonna ever come to me and say, oh, well, the money's funny, and I need you to friggin' give me I need you to extend me a credit of $25,000 on your American Express. Nah, Negro, we good. Sorry,
that's not what he did.
Right.
At all.
No, that's what he did on the first 20 minutes. That bitch was like, I need you to extend the credit on the American Express black card or the platinum card.
Danger. He was in fake danger, and she.
I don't give a shit if you're in danger or not.
Yes, you do.
Not my
if
husband.
you love someone, you're gonna give a shit.
But you're not my husband.
If your brother came to you and showed a picture,
that's my brother. He's not my lover. If my brother came to me and called me tonight and was like, TT, I'm in danger, I will pull all the resources to rescue my brother. But if I was just fucking with some Negro or some man online that I just met, and he called me and he was like, I'm having some issues, I'll be like, nah, you're on your own, bro.
Okay. All right. We got it. It doesn't matter. Can I just say one thing? I like the end, how old girl got him in the end with his clothes.
I did too.
He was pissed. He was like, you don't want to fuck with me? Yeah, I'm the last person that you ever want to do this shit to. I'm going to do stuff to you. She's like, okay. I got your clothes and I'm selling them.
She sold his clothes.
Because he had all these high-end, clothes, Gucci and everything. She didn't say how much she got for them, but it was enough to cover what he stole. Enough to cover.
I was going to say, how much did she recoup her money?
She did. She recouped a lot of it, not all of it. Not all of it. I don't know how much because he was talking about marrying. Well, he was talking about marrying the other one too. So they both got conned on that end. But
both bitches got fucking conned.
Okay, we got you. I think I have a little bit of empathy for the women. I
do too. She has none.
I have none.
Not a fucking ounce. So
I think you too. If you really look, I used to listen to this this podcast called Red Collar Kills or something like that. And it was all these people who conned these people into believing that they had this, wealth of money and they came from different places. And they didn't con just like, little people. These were people who were conning doctors and lawyers and everything. And think of Bernie Murdoch. What is his name? Murdoch.
Bernie Madoff.
Madoff. Think about his con. He did a total Ponzi scam, but he was able to get away with conning people, celebrities that we like, gave him their money, like, here, take it, because he was able to convince them that, I'm this man of power, and all he's doing is stealing from all these other people.
That's
a
right.
lot of people get conned. That's
right. And rich people that got that kind of money like that will willingly give that shit over. If they are given a good game.
And I think that that does play a role in it too. But I also know somebody that fell for the FBI story. That they were dating somebody and they were like, hey, I want to tell you,
are you willing to share that? Or are we going to just table that?
And like, no, I'm telling you the story. They told her that it wasn't me. No. Okay. That they told her that they were undercover, FBI, and that, they were low on funds, and I think she gave him money like 3 times before she was just like, I really don't think, but she didn't tell anybody either. She kept that between them.
How much money did she give them?
They were in a date. I never knew how much money she gave them, but is when she started telling people he said he's undercover FBI. That's when she woke up, because she was kind of busted out of that, that bubble that he had her in. Don't say anything. It's just you and me, and I'm gonna marry you when this is all over.
This
woman was 30-something years old. She was in her 30s, so she wasn't like a spring chicken. And she had 3 kids at the time. It was not me.
Okay.
It was not me. So I've seen, and believe me, when she was telling us, and we were telling the story, I was saying she's fucking dumb. That's what I was saying. But as I have gotten older, where you're just like flat out, as I've gotten older, I think I kind of like can understand how people can find themselves in those situations. So I try not to judge too harshly, and because I don't want to be ever in that situation. So I definitely don't want karma to come on me for those kind of thoughts. But I get it, how people can get caught up in those things, and that's what I try and be aware of, so that I don't get caught up in those things. So on that note, happy February, happy Black History Month.
Exactly.
Did we cover everything?
Well, yeah, I think we did.
Oh, wait a minute. All right, before we go,
okay,
we have to. I know that tomorrow is Married at First Sight. We gotta watch that, but at some point this weekend, we have to talk about. Let's talk about Bill Cosby.
I gotta watch that.
I watched episodes 1, 2, and 3. I got one more episode to watch, and the 3rd episode had me. All episodes, all 1, 2, and 3 had me shook.
Okay.
Bill Cosby is a motherfucker. Let me just say,
or what?
Huh?
Does it go into like the sexual deviancy stuff that
Absolutely. That's why I just said Bill Cosby is a motherfucker. Straight up, girl, watch that shit.
I don't have Showtime, I don't think.
Oh, well, I'll give you my. What? Okay.
I don't think I have Showtime.
We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk. I'm not putting this shit on the internet. We'll talk.
All right.
Internet.
Love you guys.
All right. Yeah, bye.
Until Thursday. Have a couple of days.
Shahida, go ahead.
Calm down. Go ahead.
Take us out.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was playing music or something. I'm up here looking at my
It's in the background, but I'm like, I was like, I had you intro us, now you're outroing us, and I'm gonna end it. And I'm
Am I doing it now? Because
do it.
I was doing the outro. Okay. Until the next time, stay dope.
And